So the pay discrepancy report analyzes and highlights cases where one employee group is being paid less than another group by a certain percentage or dollar amount. So in the settings here, one thing to point out is that all of the compensation reports in DVAAPBase allow you to analyze any numeric field in the workforce data. Typically, you'll be looking at the annual pay. However, you could also analyze the last merit amount, part-time hours, total bonus pay, commission pay, overtime pay, or one of the custom numeric fields that are user specified. Most often, annual pay will be the area of interest. So let's take a look at the summary report. So the pay discrepancy report allows you to specify 1 to 4 thresholds to look for in highlighting pay discrepancies. So you can select 1, 2, 3, or 4 thresholds. Let's go ahead and set up all 4 thresholds. So we can set the percentages for these. They can be either by percentage, by the dollar amount. You'll notice these change to indicate a dollar amount. Either, where you can specify both a percentage and a dollar amount, where if either of these thresholds are exceeded, a discrepancy is highlighted, or both, in which case they have to be over a certain percentage and over a certain dollar amount for each threshold. Just to keep it simple, we'll just look at a percentage. Now you can also specify the color of highlighting on the reports. So in this case, let's just set up 2% threshold, 4%. Oh, let me also point out, these will, as you enter the thresholds, they will not allow you to put thresholds in that are in the wrong order. Meaning, if I try to put in a value higher than the upper threshold already is, it will adjust down to an appropriate amount. So you'll typically want to, if you're using multiple thresholds, enter the highest for threshold first. So let's put 30% there. 20% is this threshold. 5 and 2%. So if the threshold of the lowest threshold, if the difference in pay is at least 2%, but less than 5%, it's highlighted in this gray color. If it's at least 5% and less than 20%, the next threshold, it'll be highlighted in yellow. If it's between 20 and 30, it'll be highlighted in blue, and over 30 would be highlighted in this light red. If you want to change these colors, this is a drop down. You can see it opens up a selectable palette of all the colors, and you can also put in a custom color if you want. So that's the thresholds for pay discrepancies. Like all other reports in DVAAPBase, you'll be selecting a group by. If you have questions about how to use the group by function, take a look at that separate video that discusses group by. So let's go ahead and group this report by job group. That's fine. And down below here, this is groupings to show. Is a few reports allow you to specify the groupings to show. And what this means is, once the analysis is complete, what groupings do you want to have shown on the report? All groupings will show, in this case, all the job groups, as long as there's data available for them. Or you can only show the groupings where pay discrepancy was indicated. If you're grouping by a field that results in a lot of pages, a lot of analysis, and you want to reduce that size down to only see those where there's pay discrepancies, often you'll use the only pay discrepancies as the groupings to show. We'll leave it on all groupings so we can see cases where there are pay discrepancies and also where there's none. And the final setting in the pay discrepancy summary report is setting the comparison type to do on the report. The standard report will compare males to females and minorities to non-minorities. The all race ethnicity report compares all of the races equally. This will allow pay discrepancies to be detected for any race, including non-minorities. The all gender report compares males to females and also allows detection of pay discrepancies for males. The custom comparison report allows you to specify the 2 people groups you want to compare, including a custom comparison. All the grouping options and discussion of people groups, you can check the other tutorial video for details on what people groups are and how to define your own people groups for these custom comparisons. Let's take a look at the standard report. Let's do this by establishment. For California. Let's take a look at how the report looks. So the pay discrepancy report, now I'm grouping by job group. So for each job group, we have the line of data, and we have the indication of the count for each of the groups, females, and each minority group. So in this case, there's in the assistance group, there's a total of 9 employees, 9 of which are females, 3 Hispanics, 1 Asian, and total minorities is 4. So the head count is shown for every instance where there are people employed, and the highlighting, you'll notice, if a discrepancy is detected, it's highlighted in the color corresponding to the threshold. The percentage difference between the group and the comparison group, in this case, the minority groups are compared to non-minorities. So in this case, blacks for this particular job group are paid $33,000 less than the comparison group, non-minorities. They're paid 21.1% less, and there's 1 black employee in this job group. So anytime there's a pay discrepancy, you get the pay difference, the percentage difference, and the head counts. And the color of the pay discrepancy allows you to quickly see how severe the discrepancies are. That's the pay discrepancy summary report. The pay discrepancy detail report is similar to the summary report, except that it also shows detail fields for all the employees in the grouping that you're working with. So let's look at the detail report. We'll leave the percentages the same as on the demonstration of the summary report. We'll still be grouping by job group. We'll still show all groupings, but now you'll notice we have some additional options here in the settings. We can identify the detail fields to show for each employee in the job group. So I just clicked, we're going to select those fields. So for each employee, let's show the full name. Let's show race, sex, and we'll show the annual pay. Let's also show pay grade and the department of the employee. So now those are the fields that we'll be showing. We'll sort the report, the detailed data in the report. Let's sort by annual pay. I'll right-click on this to sort it from high to low. And let's take a look at the report. Well, again, we'll look at California. And here's the resulting report. Again, for each grouping, we have the summary. This is equivalent to the row that we show in the summary report, with the details about the job group, head counts, and the pay differences. Now below that, on each grouping, we have the detail information for all the employees in that group. So in this case, the assistants, we have 9 employees. Their details are shown here with the fields that were selected. This is sorted by annual pay from high to low. So this allows you not only to have the pay discrepancy analysis taking place, but also the details of the employees that are contained in that grouping.